unable to cover every type of question in one video. So that's why we have this session. Okay. So you must bear in mind which type of questions from these 5 applications coming out, because you should know each question you need to use different method. For example, like equation of tangent or normal, what is the thing that we must do? Whenever you see tangent or normal, immediately you need to find 3 things, which is x, y, gradient. These 3 things, make sure you find it, because usually y and gradient you get some mark, and then apply of the rules to form the equation will get 1 more mark. Then of course they will have some additional question, like ask you to find the distance, midpoint, area of triangle, something like that. Okay. Next is rate of change. Rate of change, we know we must use chain rule. So remember what is chain rule? First, write everything in mathematical sentences. For example, rate of change of area is dA dt. Rate of change of volume is dV dt. And then you write the relationship. And then small changes, we use the small changes. Well, wait. I think I need to write it down in case some of you blur because in the previous session, I see some of you do not write it correctly. Some of you use wrong formula, then immediately the whole question gone. Okay, so this we just use dy dx equals to small change of y over small change of x. Rate of change, let's say we want to find dv dt, then confirm is dv over something times something over dt based on what information that we already have. Let's say if the question gives you the rate of change of area, then here is confirmed area, something like that. Okay. Then kinematic SVA is easy, you know, from displacement to velocity to acceleration. This direction is all using differentiation. And then you must know what is the meaning of at rest. At rest means v equals 0, change direction also v equals to 0. Okay. And then the max, mean, and turning point. This application part, we will explore some today. Okay. So when I having this discussion, if you face any problem, you can always write down here, then I will try to solve your doubt. Okay, clear your doubt before we proceed to the next question. If not, I will continuously continue with it. Okay, if any of you do not have this worksheet yet, this worksheet, I think I already pinned the questions in soft copy here. Okay, so this is a combination of 2023 all questions about differentiation, but of course there are some very easy questions I do not include in today's session because there are too many questions to discuss. Okay, so first type of question is very commonly appear in your IGs. Okay, you see the question talk about okay, the question talk about the curved surface area of a cylinder is this, and then a closed cylinder is very important because open cylinder and closed cylinder will have different area, but the volume is the same. Area is different. They have the volume of these. So I ask you to show the total surface area. So you can, it's very, very clear that this is actually a max-min application question. Okay. So this kind of question, the pattern is always the same. They give you 2 info so that you can form 2 equations. So here, at last, they want you to show area in terms of R. And then the information is given is volume. So you need to use volume to form one equation first, then only you can apply the area formula. So the volume is of a cylinder is just area, which is pi r squared times the height. So it's just this. So the total volume is 1000. So we can make some of them into the subject. So according to the thing that I asked us to show, they don't want H. So H is the thing that we need to make as a subject. So H equals to 1000 over pi r squared. Then the area would be 2 of this. So because it's a closed cylinder, so both of them is 2 pi r squared. And then the middle is this 2 pi r h. Then always remember, link these to here. So just subs in. Cut. So the thing that I asked you to show, successfully shown here. Okay, 3 marks. Any question? All right, quite straightforward, huh? Okay. So after this, they ask you to find the value of R, which makes this area minimum. So this area minimum means you need to dA for part B, we continue here, dA dr equals to 0. Okay. Some of the students always forget to write 0 because usually this equals to 0 have 1 mark. Okay. Make sure you do not ignore this equals to 0. Don't expect this thing will immediately award you mark without writing this equals to 0, because this is showing you know that area minimum is differentiation equals to 0. So we need to differentiate this to become 4 pi r. Here we do adjustment. So that's a power through front. Power minus 1. Then we solve the anything that have power negative, we throw down. Then we remove the denominator. So the only denominator is r squared. So the whole thing I times r squared become 4 pi r cubed minus 2000. So r is cube root of 500 over pi. So the answer is 5.42. Okay, at least 3 significant figure. If any of you write 5.4, then minus 1 mark. Okay. And this question, always when you do with max min question, at last you need to see the question asks you, show that the R value give a minimum. Okay, actually they want you to find the value of R. They do not request for the value for A. So here you already can get 4 mark without finding the A. And then the next thing that they ask you to show is show that this is a minimum. You cannot, oh yay. You cannot see the working. Okay, so I do like this. Can I? I almost forgot. This region is blocked by my face. Okay. Okay, so after you show that the R is 5.42, then next thing you need to show that this is a minimum. So how to show this is a minimum? We just do second derivative. Okay, it's not always need to find second derivative. Thanks for 100. But this question actually asks you to show this is a minimum. So that's why we need to do this. And this equation is easy to do second derivatives. That's why we do second derivative. So it's just 4 pi plus 4000 over r power 3, which is r power minus 3. Then we subs in to check whether it's max or min. We need to subs in the r value. Okay, so we should get is around 30. Use my calculator to check. 4 pi plus 4000 divided by 5.52, 5.42 power 3. You should get 37.7. So you need to clearly write your conclusion by showing your d2a dr squared is more than 0. So it is a minimum. Need to complete. You don't just show d2a dr squared then directly stop here. You must show the conclusion. Then you can successfully gain the $5. No question? Can we proceed? If yes, give me a like. Teacher, we don't simplify square root 3 of 500 over pi. You need to show that there's positive value. Better you key in, especially if this is in paper 2, the calculator paper. Teacher, can we write as dA dx? Better don't, because this question is actually area and then we differentiate based on the unknown r. So that's why it's dA dr. Okay? No x here. So that's why if you write dA dx, it's actually not that accurate. Okay, no question. Then we proceed to the next question. Okay. So next question, that says particles travel in a straight line. Hey, this deuce. Okay, a particle travel in a straight line. The displacement is given like this. Okay, so this question very obviously is SVA question. So the info given is this. So we know we just differentiate to find v, differentiate to find a. So the first question asks you what is v and a. Very easy. V is just differentiation of this. So is 1 over 4t squared minus 5. We throw the whole baby down and then we differentiate the baby and times it. Make sure it's times it. So it's times 8t. Minus t will become minus 1. Okay, so like this, you gain 2 marks. Okay. Next, we need to differentiate this to find a, and then this, okay, we need to do the quotient rule, right? If you forget to do quotient rule, then bye-bye for these marks. Not enough space, so I need to write it down here. Let me write it here. Okay, so it's 8t minus 1. Okay. So this is for your v. Your a need to do uv. What is cornball? Why no need bracket for 4t squared minus 5? Okay, the bracket is optional because they do not have any relationship times with any other thing. So that's why it's not compulsory to write a bracket here. But if you want to write, it's up to you. You can. Okay, so u is 8t, v is 4t squared minus 5. So du dt is 8, dv dt is 8t. Okay, then my a is just this times this. Here we must put bracket because can you see it's 1 terms times 2 term. If you do not put the bracket, IGs is very concerned on this. If you do not put this bracket, confirm minus you 1 mark. Okay, confirm minus you 1 mark. Okay, don't tell me I should know that you are writing something like this. But if you do not have this bracket, immediately we will minus 1 mark. Okay, so like this. Do you need to simplify it? Not compulsory for this question. Not compulsory. Okay. Any other question? 4 marks, easy, right? Okay. Next, find the time when the particle is at rest. So at rest, they are expecting you to know at rest means v equals to 0. Okay. So immediately apply this thing equals to 0. So this question obviously is a quadratic situation. So we group everything into one side. Then we solve the simultaneous equation. And when you reach this point, you get 1 mark. And remember, make it equals to 0. And then make sure you show the factorization because I know some of you don't like to show this factorization. I need to remind you in IGs, most of the situation, this factorization will gain 1 mark. Even though sometimes when you check marking scheme, some question they do not give mark for this, but most of the situation they give. So make sure you write this factorization. And then you get t equals to negative 1 over 2, t equals to 5 over 2. And remember to reject the negative sign. If you do not reject, also minus mark. Hey teacher, what if we use quadratic equation? Yes, if you use the minus b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a, then okay. As long as you prove that you use any of the correct method to lead to your final answer, then okay. If you do not show, then no. But since this equation is easy to use the factorization, so make sure you use that. Okay, it is easier. Okay, so find a time when the particle is at rest. So we already know this. And then they ask you to find the acceleration. Okay, so acceleration is easy. Just apply the formulas here. So for part C, okay. For part C, find the acceleration when this time. So we just subs in these. Okay, you can, after this, you can key in calculator directly to get the answer should be negative 3 over 2. 5, sorry. Okay, so this factorization, this substitution, one mark. And then the final answers correctly is 1 more mark. And then since the question asks for acceleration, make sure you remain your negative symbol. Okay. Okay, so this question is considered easy question. Why? Because this question do not ask you for distance. We always know in this SVA question, the hardest question is distance. So even though here they do not have the questions about distance, right? But ladies and gentlemen, if the question asks for distance, how? Especially if they ask you the distance for first 3 seconds. How to do? If they ask this question, usually it's 4 marks. If you see distance is a high mark question, make sure you refer back to the front to check whether they change direction or not. You should remember when they ask for distance, you always need to double confirm whether they change direction. Okay, wait. Let me see what Xuan Ying asked. Teacher, can I just not put -1 over 2? Can. You can. Don't show me this. If you directly show like this, also can. But the factorization must show. Okay. Okay, so this is the additional question. If you join this session, then we have this extra practice about the distance, because if they don't ask for distance, this question is just too easy, right? Okay. If they ask for distance for the first 3 seconds, okay. So remember, we already know distance. We need to check whether they have change of direction. Just now, we already know it at rest when time is 5/2, which means 2.5. Yeah, I will upload later, okay? So if the time is 2.5, they at rest means they change direction at this point. So if they ask for the first 3 seconds distance, so we know how to find a distance. We must find from time equals to 0 to time equals to 5/2, the displacement, the distance that they travel. Okay, for how to count the distance for this part, we just use the final displacement minus initial displacement. Then we will know what is the distance for this path. And then from time 5/2 to time equals to 3, you also need to count the distance for this time. So to find the distance, we always use final displacement minus initial displacement. Okay, so as is this. Okay, so we sub in. Oops, ln 0.5. Okay, this question, it doesn't make sense for, okay, it only makes sense when time is more than 2. So we shouldn't start from t equals to 0, okay? Okay, so this question actually impossible for you to start from, because it says more than 2 but not including 2. So if they want to count also, you count based on this, but you found that when time equals to 2, it's still a math error. So that's why this question cannot count distance. That's why they do not ask for the question for distance. But make sure you know, if they ask for distance for 3 seconds and they address when time is in between the 0 to 3, you must count it separately. Okay, but this question we can't do because from beginning they already says times must more than 2 but not equals to 2. So we do not have an exact start time. Okay, because it starts from infinity negative, which is here. So that's why it's very hard for us to find where is the starting point. Oh wait, then we proceed to the next question, because today we have many questions to discuss. If you don't have question, then we proceed. Okay, next question. Okay, it's again SVA question. Okay, so SVA question, this is quite straightforward. So it's again, they ask you for S request for V and A. So we just do differentiation. So I just show you the answer because this question is very similar to the previous question. And then the A is this. Okay. Then they ask for the, again, can you see that it's quite commonly they ask what is the time when the particle at rest means that this thing equals to 0. Of course, this question involves some technique that you need to use because here contain something power negative. Remember, only E power negative. Your 4 do not power negative. So when you throw your net power negative things down, only this thing down. Previously, have many students throw the 4 down, which is very wrong. 4 do not have power negative. And then to solve this, we need to remove the denominator by everything times E2t. So this part will be E2t squared minus 4 minus E2t. So this question is, again, obviously is a quadratic situation. Then we can let E2t equals to x. Then we just solve 3x squared minus x minus 4 equals to 0. So 3x, x minus 1 plus 1. Sorry, plus minus 2 plus 2. Okay. Hi. dy dx equals to 0. V equals to 0. V equals to 0. Okay. Equal. V equals to 0. When they say it's at rest means V equals to 0. We don't base on dy dx. If the question starts from V, then you need to know you should use V. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so you should know x is minus 2 over 3. Wait, is it this? It says no. Okay, because he's minus plus 1 minus 4. Okay, so 6 minus 1 minus 3 minus 4 is 1. Okay, correct. So x is 4 over 3 or x is minus 1. Then we subtract my E2t. 2t equals to ln 4 over 3. So t, you just key in calculator, your ln 4 over 3 divided by 2, you should get 0.144. Teacher can use calculator for all these questions. If it's paper 1, then yes. If it's paper 2, then no. Teacher, after live, can we still play back? Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So ln minus 1 is impossible to have negative 1, so we read. Okay. So we found that time equals to 0.144. This question do not say they need exact form or value, so they will accept it. If you write half ln 4 over 3 also, they will accept. Okay. Any question new here? Cherry finals got distance question now. Let's see. This question don't have also. Why? Okay. But I think this question is possible to have distance question. Wait, anyone that complete this paper that found any distance question? This year have distance question. I don't think we have distance question here. So I think it's worth for us to try this question as a distance question. Okay, part C is too easy. It just subs in the value of 0.144 into your A. So we know A is just this. So you should get answer is 14, right? I will get 14 for part C. It just subs in. Okay. Since there is request from Clo Power Ranger. Hey, by the way, who is Clo Power Ranger? Then we try the distance question. Okay. Chloe. Chloe Lim, not chlorine. Why suddenly change to Power Ranger again? Okay, we try one question. Let's say we add in one question to find the distance. Yeah, for first 0.2 seconds. 0.2 seconds. So since we already know time is 0.144 is the time that they change direction, so we need to find two paths. Okay, let me erase this part first. I like write down t equals to 0.144, they change direction. Okay. Sure, I got, oh, okay. Hi. Wow, your account name all very special. 谢谢 okay. You're welcome. Okay, let's see. Okay, if they says about distance, and then you know they change direction when this time. So from the first 0.2 second, it actually cover two direction, which from t equals 0 to t equals 0.144 is one direction. And then from t equals to 0.144 to t equals 0.2 is another direction. So we need to count the distance separately. So the distance for this path is just use the s 0.144 minus s0. So what is the equation for s? The equation of s is this. Wow, it's a bit long. Okay, but never mind, we just copy the formula down first. Okay, so we subs in, and this question, if they appear, then confirm it is a paper 2 question, because you can't do this without calculator. It's a bit long. Okay, it's a bit very long. Minus this 1.5 e 2 times 0 plus 2e minus 2, 0, minus 0, right? Okay. Then you can key in calculator. Okay, I will write down the answers for this part first, because later we still need to use this value, which is 3.299. Everyone get 3.299? Guys, also try to key in, because only if you are familiar to key in now, then you can key in it confidently and effectively in your exam. Okay, so for this part, it's 7/2, is it? Do you get negative 0.201? Well, I see 100. You get it? Okay. Clo Power Ranger, you get this answer? The Uma, you get this answer? Okay, it's a bit sad. I can't see who give me the icon of 100. Okay. Anyone haven't get the answers yet? Can you put a cry face? Any cry face here? Let me try. Oh, got cry face also. Okay. So yeah, most of you can get yeah, Violet, please try also. Tasville also try to key in. You need to be very familiar with your calculator. You need to be a good friend with your calculator. If not, your calculator won't show you the correct answer later. Because they involve many brackets. Okay, you need to use your bracket correctly. If not, you get a different answer. Yes, Zubo, go. Okay, done. Okay, good. Very good. Okay, since it's an additional questions, so we do together. So how about from S2 to S0.144? So we need to count the S2. minus this 3.299. Okay, let's go. Oh, wait, isn't it very, very, very big value? Anyone get this value as me? It's a bit big. $76.635. Sure, why 2? Oh, sorry, it's 0.2. Thanks, Daniel. Sorry, I write. It's 0.2. My bad. My bad. Okay. Okay. So 0.2 at. So I need to check the question carefully. If not, if you do the same mistake, 2, you write 0.2, then it's a bit sad. Okay, so here you should get 3.378. So this thing minus 3.299 is 0.0794. Okay, then we use the sum of these two. Wait. The value is 3.36. Let me check. Is it 3.36? Let me key again. Plus 2 negative 0.4 minus 0.2. Okay. 3.378. How about others? Do you guys get 3.37 or you get 3.36? How? Then the total distance equals to, remember, we do it separately because I remember previously some of you directly count both of them and then you sum them together, which is wrong because distance is a scalar, not vector, so you only plus their value, their magnitude without putting the symbol. Okay. This is the answer that I get, 0.2804. Is it the same as me? Yeah, I see some love. Thanks for love. Anyone get any other answers? Oh, I see many 100 marks. Am I correct? I think correct, right? Teacher, when you differentiate, right, why the power didn't minus 1? Oh, this question is a special 5 question. Special 5, we do 2 steps. First step, we apply rule. Second step, we differentiate baby n times. We do not involve power minus 1 in special 5. I repeat one more time. We do not apply minus 1 in special 5. The 3-step power throw front, power minus 1, differentiate baby is for the basic rules. If it's not special 5, it's the basic rules, then minus 1. If special 5, then no. Unless it's the trigo power 2, power half, then only we'll apply the power throw front, power minus 1 situation. There is okay? Hi. Hi means okay or not okay? Others, if you face problem, can always tell me or PM me or what, okay? Okay, I think should be okay. If you face any problem, you can always tell me after this and we can discuss on this. Okay, so we proceed to the next part. Yay, let's go. Next question is this. Equation of normal. Okay, so I remember there is one PM from Samuel asking me to talk about how to count the area of triangle for this kind of question. Okay, so we will add in that question here also. Okay, so the first part, whenever you see equation of normal, don't think too much directly, write x, y gradient and put a star at normal. So remember previously there are some students, you do not do the additional step for normal, then you lose a lot of mark. Okay, so be extra concerned on this. And this question, they won't give you extra mark for y because they already give you what is the x and y. So the only thing that you need to do is find what is the m for tangent. Differentiation of y is the gradient of tangent. So it's 3x squared minus 14x plus 12. Okay, then always remember application question, we always subs in the value of x, so it's just this. The gradient is 1, so gradient of normal is minus 1. Okay, so after we have this, then we can use either y equals to mx plus c or y minus y equals to m x minus x. So if you want to write in y equals to mx plus c, then it's okay also. So it's 1 plus 1 is plus 2. Okay, or you can use the y equals to mx plus c. Okay, it's not compulsory for you to write in this way. You can leave your answer in this way. Wyron Raj, hi. Okay, y minus 1. Okay, equation of normal, you always need to remember it involves the idea of, okay, for example, the graph is like this. So when this is my grade, oh, sorry, it's a bit ugly. If the gradient of tangent is 1, then the gradient of normal is perpendicular with it. So that's why we must use m1 times m2 equals to minus 1. So since my gradient for tangent is 1, my gradient of normal would be minus 1. Okay, we must remember to use m1, m2 equals to minus 1 when normal. That's why I say put a star here. Because if you forget to do this step, then it will affect a lot. Okay. Raj, are you in Malaysia? Long time no use already. Okay. Hey, I remember you travel. Oh, you go back to Russia already. Hey, Darius, you know Raj? Yay. Oh, okay. Neighbor, okay, great. Oh, coming back tomorrow. Okay, welcome back. And great to see you in this live. Okay. Next. Okay. Next, find the x coordinate of the 2 point when the normal cut the curve again. So when they say the normal, which is this straight line, cut the curve again. So whenever they say cut means that it's simultaneous equation. So we just simultaneous equation of this and this. Uma got no aura. Oh wow, we need to play crickets tomorrow. Okay. Okay. So x power 3. Sorry. Okay, so when we reach here, you need to continue to solve. First thing you need to know, one of the solution is x equals to 1, which means one of the factor you already know is x minus 1. So this question obviously is involving factors of polynomial, the long division, right? When we need to solve cubic situation, remember factor theorem, remainder theorem, long division. This question, obviously, we use long division to solve it. Then we will get what is a quadratic, which is x squared. Up minus down will become minus 6x squared plus 13x. So it's plus 7. Okay, then we successfully get the quadratic. So we know the equation. The solution is this. This question is very good because they already asked us to find the other x coordinates in terms of these. So they give you the hints that you directly use minus b for this part, minus b plus minus b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Okay. So it is 6 plus minus square root of 8 over 2. Okay. My student in Oxford, year 10, we haven't learned this, but this is the thing that in new syllabus, you need to know square root 8, how to write in the simplest form. So to write in simplest form, we just use the LCM HCF method that we learned in maths. So we divide by 2 is 4, divided by 2 is 2, divided by 2 is 2. For square root situation, any pair of them can come out from the bracket, the square root. So 2 can come out as a square root because there is in pair. One of them can come out. So we left the 2 here. So square root of 8 is just 2 square root 2. Then we can simplify it to this. So this is my final answer. Any question? Yay. Yay, yay. Sure, where is the x minus 1 from the long division? Okay. The question says the equation of, oh my god. Okay, the question says at this point they will form a normal. So that's why the first intersection point is confirmed at 1, 1. So that's why the first intersection point of x value is x equals to 1. Agree now? Samir. There is it here? Okay, why do y1 equals y2? Because the question says the normal will cut the curve again. Anytime they say one straight line cut another line or another curve, it's always doing simultaneous equation to find the intersect point. Can? And there is done. Is it okay? Let's go up. Sure, then how to do the area of triangle? Well, okay, since you guys talk about this, okay, let's say they say this normal. Sir, can you do A level further maths as well? A level further maths, sorry, I haven't started to prepare on it, so that's why I'm sorry for that. But A level, if you have any requests on maths, you can tell me, then I will plan on it. Okay. Best influencer. Who is the best influencer? Okay. 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 Wait. Okay. The question about area of triangle. Okay. Let's say the question says, uh, okay. So previously we already, blah, blah, blah. Okay. What should I say? Okay. Let's say the questions. Okay, this question, because the intersection point is not a whole number, that's why it's a bit hard to use this question. Okay, but let's see, I amend a bit this question and test you how to find the area of triangle, because usually after this they might ask you to find the length the of 2 point, or ask you to find the midpoint of something. That's why they also possible to ask you to find the area of triangle. Okay, let's say after this line, they say this normal will cut through x-axis. Okay, let's say they say will cut through x-axis at point, let's say q. So they say this is my p, and then let's say they add one info about they say it will intersect with y equals to -1. Okay, let's say it's this. They say at r. Okay, so we already know p is 1, 1, and then it says q is at x-axis. So since the equation of normal, okay, I repeat one more time because this is the question that I additionally add in. Okay, so which they says this equation of normal will meet x-axis at point q, and then we'll meet y equals to -1 at point r, and then ask you to find the area of PQR. This is the question that I add in. Okay, then what should you do? Okay, let's go. So since all the info I already extract here, then we need to find out what is the coordinate of P, Q, and R. So when they say Q is x-axis, means y equals to 0. So this equation of normal, just now I already get y equals to minus x plus 2, right? Okay, so they say x-axis means y equals 0, so x equals 2. So I know this coordinate. And then let's say they say they cut through y equals to -1 at point r. So -1 at point r. So x is 3. So after we gather the 3 coordinates, then we need to find the area of this PQR. So that's why we can find the area. So can you see this question? We do not have any length that is parallel to x-axis or y-axis. So we cannot use the half base times height. If you have any after you draw the 3 points, if you found that any of the line is parallel to x-axis or y-axis, you can directly figure out what is the base and height. Then you can directly use half base times height. But this question, since it's all are slanted line, if you draw it out, will be 1, 1 like this. 2, 0 is like this. 3 minus 1. Ooh. What? Hey, shit. Okay, I shouldn't choose this point. Okay, let's say I choose y equals to okay, wait, I need to amend a bit this question, because if not, it doesn't look like it will form a triangle. Let's say this equation is like this. Okay, let's say we say x plus 2. X plus 4, let's say it's x plus 4. X plus 4, sorry, my bad. Okay, so the point R here we change a bit. Sorry, because this question is I will make it from here. Okay, so it's not from past years, so that's why we need to solve the simultaneous equation to get the coordinate of r. So x plus 4 equals to minus x plus 2. So 2x equals to minus 2x equals to minus 1. So it's x is minus 1, and then my y value would be, when x is minus 1, my y is 3. So can you see I have different coordinate 3. So it's 3. So these 3 will form a triangle. It's a bit challenging to draw this triangle. Okay, something like this. Okay, it's a very ugly triangle, but yeah, can you see it's a bit hard for you to find half times space time height? So that's why you need to use the formula of half the x1, y1, x2, y2, x3, y3, x1, y1. If any of you face problem in this equation, you can refer back to my coordinate geometry video. So let's say I choose this coordinate. Then I arrange them. I arrange the 3 coordinates and I repeat back the 2, 0. Mr. Chen, can you give us a past year question involving area of triangle for on practice? It's a bit hard to find. You can try it. Exact same, however, I don't think so. Okay, 0 plus 3 plus 2. 5 minus what? 5 minus 5. Okay, means that this means that this is not a triangle. This is a straight line. Okay. There's one questions from other syllabus. They ask in this way and ask you to prove that this is not a triangle but a straight line. If you use this, then you can prove this is actually a straight line. Okay. If this is a triangle, you should get a value by using this formula. Okay. Any question until here? If you use the area formula, you get the answers is 0, means that it is not a triangle, it's form of straight line. Okay, there is one request from Tasville. That question that have area of triangle. So let's see, since he successfully find it out, then we have a look. MJ1611. Let's see. Question 64. Question 64. Question 8. Area of triangle of ABC. Okay, so this question, ask you to find the area of triangle of ABC. This is very easy lah. So ask you to find the area of ABC. So if you sketch it out, we know that the area won't be a normal. Not easy to find the area of the length of base and height, because there is nothing parallel to x-axis or y-axis. That's why we directly fit them in. For example, let's say I choose 4, 2 first. Then I choose this minus 1, 7. Then I choose this minus 8, 6, and then 4, 2. Okay, then it's again this time this, this time this, this time this, and then everything go down minus everything go up. Okay, then you just key in, or if it's paper 1, then you need to count it yourself. So answer is 20, just like this. Can not a big problem, right? Tasu okay? Are others okay? This is just how you find area of triangle if it is not easily to find base and height. Okay, and this is the last formula that you need to know for area of triangle in our syllabus. Okay, let's proceed to the next question. Okay, question 5. Okay, P and Q are constant. This thing, okay, again is the equation of normal. So equation of normal, we just find my x, y, and gradient and put a star star at the normal here. So you should get the answer. So I just write down the answers. The gradient of tangent is negative 2px minus 3 plus 5. So when I substitute my x is 1, I should get minus 2p plus 1. So I should know my gradient of the normal is minus 2, is negative 1 over minus 2p plus 5. Okay, because we apply the formula of m1, m2 equals to minus 1 for gradient of normal. So from the equation of normal, we already know the gradient of normal that they give us is minus 1. Then we can confirm our gradient of normal is minus 1 according to the info that they give. Then we just solve this. P is 2. Okay, we get P is 2. And then we can get the value of Q. Okay, by subs in my equation. We need to compare by forming our own equation. When x is 1, my y is p plus 5 minus 2 is plus 3. Okay, so I can know my equation of gradient is y equals to minus 1 y minus y equals to m. M just now we know is minus 1, x minus 1. So we know Q is just this. The balance, okay, y we compare with y, minus x is compared with minus x. So the Q equals to 1 plus p plus 3. Q equals to 1 plus 2 plus 3. Because we already found p is 2, then we can confirm Q is 6. Any questions for this question? This question is a bit special because it's not directly asked you to find the equation of normal, but can't see the working can. Okay, can. It's a bit special for this question, huh? Okay. Okay. Any question? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. Okay, come, something. What is the question? TC cannot see to. What is TC? On top. Okay. Let me scale down a bit. Okay. Okay, can see. Can see. Okay. No, there's no question. Uma done. Uma. It's so fast to be 1 hour. It's already 1 hour. Okay, done. Yes, let's go for next question. Okay. YP plus 3. Okay, you see, we form my equation of normal myself. Okay, Uma. So that's why y minus y equals to gradient. I already know it's minus 1, and then x minus 1. Agree, Uma? Of course, you can use y equals to mx plus c to do. Then you should get this equation. Then you use this equation compared with the equation that they say. They say this should be the equation of normal. So this and this, both of this equation should be the same. Both of them are the equation of normal. equation of normal. That's why since this already the same, this already the same, so the balance Q and the balance 1 plus P plus 3 is the same. Okay. Question 9. Okay, this question, you need to know how to do differentiation. This question is not that easy. Okay, so they ask you to show dy dx can be written in this way. If you face problem in this type of questions, have a look here. Okay, you already know u is this, v is this. So we do quotient rule, power throw fun, power minus 1, differentiate baby. 3-step if this is not a special 5 situation. And then my dv dx is 2x minus 1 power 1 and then times 1. Okay, so it's just 2 times x minus 1. Then we can get my dy dx is v times du dx. So it's this. Minus this time this. Divided by v squared. So it become x power 1, x minus 1 power 4. Okay. So they already give you some hints. This question already says this is the denominator should be x minus 1 power 3. And we found that here have x minus 1, here have x minus 1 power 2. So that's why we can factorize out my x minus 1 and then simplify like this. All right, this first thing we need to do. Second thing, whenever they ask you to rearrange my method, always let the terms that contain negative power put down. Here is just this thing go down. Others remain on their position, don't simply throw. This 5 is still up, this 3 is still down, this part go down. 5x plus 2 power 2 over 3. Since it's moved down, power negative remove. And then just now we already factorized and simplified the x minus 1, so up still left x minus 1 only, no more square. And then this part is 5x plus 2 power 1 over 3 times 2. X minus 1 remove, so simplify. And then don't join the bottom up first. Okay, so this x minus 1 power 3 is supposed to be bottom now. Okay, so you cannot throw it up or what. Okay, then only you join this part into single fraction. To join them into single fraction, they must have the same denominator. That's why here, up, down, also I need to times 3. 5x plus 2 power 2 over 3. Up, down, also I times this. Can we always make the power negative down first, then we join them into single fraction. Here involve 3 layer. You just remain it in 3 layer first. Okay? Until here, have any question? Anyone want to ask why? Okay, if don't have, then we can continue. Okay, 2 times 3 is 6. And then 5x plus 2 power half times 5x plus 2 power 2 over 3 means that 2 of their power will join together, because if you use this thing times this thing, according to the indices rule, it's just a power 1. So here the 5x plus 2 power 1 over 3 will become 5x plus 2 power 1 only. And then the denominator will standardize as 3, 5x plus 2 power 2 over 3. And then if you're familiar already, you know this divided by x minus 1 power 3 is actually times, times 1 over this. So at last you can join these together and then you expand the denominator, numerator, sorry. We expand the numerator. Remember it's minus 6 directly times in, minus 6 directly times in. Minus 6 times 2 is minus 12. Wait, can you see? Okay, just nice, right? Okay. So at last you get minus 25x minus 13 over this. And the question requires you to factorize the power one, power negative, factorize the negative symbol out, right? Can you see here? They request this. They have this special request, negative, then bracket something. So we must factorize out my negative. So after I factorize out my negative, would be this. And then the denominator is exactly with the same with what they request. Then you get this 3 mark. This question is considered a slightly harder question in this type of question. So if you can do this, or any question that force you to write in specific way is okay. Wait, but sorry, my bad. Here is minus 5 higher. So here is negative 17. So here is positive 17. My bad. Okay. Any question until here? One, two, three, four, five. If don't have, then later, if you need to copy the answers, you can review back the paper because we only successfully do half until here. Okay, so we go fast a bit. And then the next question says, explain why the curve does not exist when x less than 2 over 5. Okay, so this question is a bit involving of function. So you need to base on here. From this info, we know that 5x minus 2 must be more than or equal to 0. So that's why x must be more than or equal to 2 over 5. Then you can say, so this. So it says, if x less than 2 over 5, square root cannot have a valid value. Something like this. You need to explain based on the numerator, okay? Teacher, I don't understand. There is, you mean this question A? Hi. Is it still correct if I say graph containing a square root doesn't contain negative numbers? Okay, you can mention the square root 5x minus 2 cannot if is not valid if it's x is less than 2 over 5. Okay, you can explain based on the numerator. Okay, you see here, we know that for square root graph is like this. Okay, why the graph will be like this? Because we know any square root 0 is okay, square root positive value also okay. But if you key in square root of negative value, it's actually not okay. I repeat one more time, square root negative is not okay. So can I say cannot square root negative numbers? Can, okay, caveat, okay. Okay, so that's why you can explain based on this. Then you tell me if x less than 2 over 5, square root will contain a negative value, thus it's not valid, something like that. So you need to explain based on square root equation. Okay, for part A, okay, it's about the function chapter. Okay, the previous one, there is what is the problem of the previous one? There is. Okay, or you can ask again later. Huh? Okay, so we continue first. And then next, they ask you to show dy dx can be written in this way. Okay, this question is very similar with the previous question. So we just proceed because this question is too similar with the previous question. I don't show you again because it's exactly the same. You can try yourself. I just write the answers down. Okay, you check your answer, see whether it's correct. Okay, proceed to next question. Okay, this question. This question is, okay, whenever you see approximate change, immediately you write down dy dx equals to this. Approximate change, immediately use this. If you don't use this, then don't tell me you deserve any mark. You deserve some mark for finding what is dy dx, but after this, no, okay? You must know this, okay? So this question is again testing you whether you know how to do this u and v. Okay, let me write down here first. Sine will become cos baby copy. Differentiate baby is 8. So at last is 12x squared plus 16 cos 8x. Okay, so this thing correct will gain 2 marks already. -1. Be extra careful. 1 minus x dv dx is -1, not 1. Okay, be extra careful on this. Then you find your dy dx. It's this time this. So become minus this time this. So minus times -1 will become plus. Okay, if you can successfully get this equation, you gain 1 more mark, which means you already gain 3 marks out of 6. Then always remember, next thing is very easy, how to score the next mark. Okay, so you just okay, actually if you fully correct derivative, actually you should get 4 mark already. Full equation 4 mark. Okay, then next you sub this in, but of course it's application question, so you can sub in your x. This question will tell you x initially 0.1, so you sub in x equals to 0.1 here, 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 here. Then you should get your answer is 14.3. You won't get the 5th mark yet. You need to sub it here. The small changes of x is h. Okay, like this correct setting have 1 more mark. Then the last mark is you show me is this. Okay, is the end this question? So make sure you use the correct formula. Then this question is just quite simple. Give you 5 seconds. Any question? Okay, can we proceed now? If you have any questions later, you can stay back and ask. Okay, next question is this. A curve contains this, the normal of the curve cut x-axis at P, ask you to find the exact coordinate of P. Okay, so this question is again a normal question situation. So put a star here, and then you should get your x is this. Subs in your y. Okay, you must get what is your y. Your y is it 0.5? Yeah, y is 0.5, and then dy dx is -1/4 sine x/4. Because cos will become negative sine, baby we copy then differentiate x/4 is 1/4. Like this gain 2 mark, 1 mark. And then find dy dx. You subs in the value of x equals to this, you should get it is -√3/8. Gain 1 mark here. And then this is always a gradient of tangent. Then gradient of normal, you just apply m1, m2 equals to -1, then you should get is 8 over square root 3. Okay. It's not always they give you 2 mark in this way, but this question they did give you both, so make sure you show. And then you can write your equation. So the equation should be this: y minus y equals to gradient x minus x. And remember, this question requires for exact coordinate. No matter this is paper 1 or paper 2, whenever you see exact coordinate means you cannot key in calculator. You cannot key in calculator. Even though this question, if it's appear in paper 2, you still cannot key in calculator. You can key in calculator to as a reference lah. But the working that you show and your final answers must be in exact. Okay. Then at last, they say cut x-axis. X-axis means y equals to 0. So you just subs this in. So you subs in y equals to 0. And then at last you get your x is 4 pi over 3 minus square root 3 over 16. So your final answer is this. Okay. 7 marks like this. Any question? Okay, this question consider quite straightforward question. The only challenging part is the exact form. Okay. Next question is about the rate of change question. Why? Because the question says, either give you this equation that says x is increasing at a constant rate of 0.04. So make sure you write dx dt equals to 0.04. And then find the rate of change of y, means dy dt equals to how much. So you need to remember rate, you must use chain rule. And then info given is dx dt, so here must be dx, here must be dx. So here info already have, so I must find what is my dy dx. 2, no x, so bye-bye, disappear already. Tangent becomes secant square. Again, we differentiate 1 minus x is -1. Remember, it's -1. Okay. Then we key in calculator. The x value, we need to find the x value, okay? Because if not, we unable to find what is the value of dy dx. We must find the value of dy dx. So how like we need to find, they give us y equals to 3, so we need to find what is my x. My bad. Okay. So you shift tangent 1 pi over 4. X is pi over 3. 3 pi 1 minus pi over 4 is 3 pi over 4. Okay. So here you subs in. Or since here we already know, sorry, 1 minus pi over 4 is not 3 pi over 4. So you cannot, because if you key in calculator, because they are not like term 1 minus pi over 4, 1 do not carry pi. So that's why you can only directly subs in 1 minus pi as pi over 4 here. Okay, so direct key in calculator, or you can -1 divided by cos pi over 4. So this question you should get negative square root of 2. So dy dx you get minus square root of 2. And then, oh, sorry, my bad. So you have a square. Okay. then you should get minus 2. So you use dy dx is minus 2. Dx dt is 0.04. So your final answer is negative 0.08. Okay. Samuel says 0.215. Yeah. 1 minus pi over 4 is 0.215. If this is a paper 2 question, you can directly key in 1 minus pi over 4 is 0.215. So here the challenging part is first, whether you get trick here, and then second, whether you know how to key in negative secant square 1 minus x and get the minus 2. Okay. Any question from here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hi. Then we proceed to the next. Okay. So this question have these, ask you to find the coordinate of stationary point. So stationary point means dy dx equals to 0. So it's just 64x. Remember here, be extra careful. You do rearrangement, we'll only put the x power 2 up and become x power minus 2. You shouldn't make the 8 up. If you want to make the denominator up, will be this. Okay, you do this or this. Okay, of course, this is the easier one. Okay, then we can say it's minus 2 over 8, and then x power minus 3 equals 0. Okay, and then whenever you have x power minus 3, I remove the power negative, will become this. Then my whole equation times. Okay, I think we can just simplify it first to become 1 and 4, and then at last we times 4x power 3. Then we can get 256x power 4 minus 1 equals to 0. Bum, 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 bum. 1 over 4. Wait. When we throw the root 4, because it's power 2468, when it becomes square root, it includes both positive and negative. So that's why you get answer is plus minus 1 over 4. And this question requests for coordinates. They do not say it's x coordinates only. So make sure you find what is the y value. Since both situation also x squared, so your negative 1 over 4 will still give you the same answer. So at last, you should get both y also 4. So your two coordinates include this and this. Okay, 5 marks. Any question from this? Shouldn't be a problem. This question is somehow considered easier one. So next question, this stationary have the same nature. Use second derivative test to determine whether they have max or min. So second derivative. So dy dx. So just now we already know dy dx is 64x minus 1 over 4x power minus 3. Then the d2y dx squared e. Okay, so make sure you show this, you gain 1 mark. And then since they already tell you both of the turning point have the same value, so that's why you just do in this way, and then key in calculator. You get this 256, so it's more than 0, it's minimum. Okay, there you get full mark. Also quite easy question, right? Next question, they says a sphere have the radius of this, volume is this. Oh, it's a rate of change question. So they says volume is increasing in the rate, so dv dt is given. Then ask you what is the rate of increase of radius, means the RDT. So, and then tell you R is 6. So we use the chain rule. Info given is in dV. So we already have this, so we need to find this. So we need to relate V and R by using the equation that they give. We just find dV dr. And then the question says radius is 6. It's 144 pi. dV dr is 144 pi. So dr dV is 1 over 144 pi times 24. So you should get answer is the question. Okay, so this answer is 0.0531. Okay, quite easy lah. This 4 marks question. Okay. Just make sure you know this formula and find the information correctly. Okay, this question is again a max min question. So they give you the info about area. Area is this. Minus sector, which is this. So we know area is half r squared theta equals to 25. The thing that the answer will show is in terms of r, so we make theta is as our subject. Okay, so this is first part. Then we can find the perimeter of the minor sector. Remember, perimeter of this shape, including the r, and here is r theta. So it's 2r plus r theta. And then the theta we subs in. Just like that. So 3 marks. Quite easy, okay? As long as you're familiar with the pattern. So can you see the max min application question is always give you 2 info. Here they give you area, ask you to write in perimeter. Sometimes it's area and volume. Sometimes it's radius and volume, something like that. And then at last, they ask you to find the minimum. P have a minimum value and show that it have minimum value and find the minimum value. So how to show? We just use d2p dr squared. And then we need to show that it's minimum means it must be more than 0. And then find the minimum value of P. So see carefully, this question requires for value of P and also prove that it is minimum. So you need to do this both. So we do dPdr first. This part we change to 50 r power minus 1. So power throw front, power minus 1. Then we know minimum value means this thing equals 0. To solve this, everything times r squared to remove the denominator. So 50 over 2 equals to r squared. Then we know the r value is square root of 25. Here we do not need to put plus minus because radius is confirmed positive only. So we can confirm radius is 5. And remember to find what is a p. If you forget to find what is the value of p, then we will lose mark. So minimum value of p is 50, and then show that. And then remember to show that this is the minimum. So we do the 2p dr squared. This part no r already, so bye-bye. And this thing show down 100 r power minus 3. Then we subs in 5. Okay. We should get answers positive 4 over 5, so it's more than 0, so it's minimum. And successfully gain all the marks. Hi, need to go to Japan. Hi. When will you go to Japan? Okay, Kenna, for this question is not hard type question is somehow considered easy. Just that this question, you must know area is half r squared theta, and then length is r theta. If you forgot this, then it's a bit sad. Okay, you must know how to do this. And this is the chapter that's been learned beforehand, so make sure you're familiar with this. Okay. Okay, next this question is again the same as the previous question, so I just show you the answers, you do yourself. So the answer should be okay. Too similarly. But this question asks you to find the coordinate of the stationary point, means that this equation equals to 0. So I directly do part B. So they ask you to find the stationary point of this equation, means 0 equals to this. So this thing throw. So we do not need to count the denominator because everything throw to the left will become 0. So that's why we just solve this part. X is 9/4. Okay. And then the question asks for the coordinate, so make sure you find what is the y value also after you get what is the x value. You should get a 0.255, so that's why the final answer is 2.25 or 9/4 and 0.255. This is how you find the coordinate of the stationary point, which is quite straightforward also. Next question, okay, approximate change. So approximate change, again, immediately, don't think too much, directly apply this formula. The question says x increase from this, means x initially is pi/4, and then the small changes of x is h. Then we need to find what is my dy dx, so you just apply the uv. Okay, the challenging part of this question is this part. Your trigger have a specific power. So in this situation, be extra careful when you do du dx. 1 bye-bye because don't have x. How about this? You need to know this cos itself is a baby. So we apply the power through front. Baby copy power -1. Then at last only we differentiate the baby. Differentiate cos will become negative sine x. So at last this is -2 sine x cos x. Okay, this is the only challenging part for this question. And this thing will gain 1 mark. And then dv dx is too easy, so that do not award additional mark for this. And then dy dx equals to quotient rule is this times this. Minus this times this. Divided by this square. Okay, so fully correct answers like this is 1 mark plus 2 more marks. So total 3 marks here. And then you sub in your pi/4 into your x. If you key in correctly, you should get -4. So at last it's -4 equals to square root of y/h. So square root of y equals to -4h. Correct? Correct. So 5 marks. Any question? This question also consider okay question, doable question. Okay, finally we reached the last few questions. Okay, so still have this. Okay. Okay. Good. This question, okay, we rearrange this first. Then we need to find what's my dy dx. It's again power through front. Power minus 1 will become minus 4 here, and then times 1. And then my d2y dx squared is again power through front. Power minus 1. Okay, after gather the info, they ask us to show this. Okay, so we just follow the instruction. Why is this? Dy dx is this. So we just simplify. And then to join them into single fraction, all of the denominator must change them to x minus 3 power 5. So obviously this part I need to times x minus 3 power 2 on up down. Here I need to times x minus 3 on up down. So this part will become x squared minus 6x plus 9 for this part. And then plus, here I times in will be 3x minus 9, and then here minus 4. At last will be x squared minus 3x minus 4. They're very good. They give you the hints already, so you can directly apply it. And you check back, it's actually the same. So just like this, you gain 4 marks. So this question, even though it looks a bit confusing, but this thing is the everything, all the infos that we can get, we just gather it and then subs in, you can get the full marks. Any question from here? If you don't have, then we proceed to the next question. Hey, no more question already. Okay, this is the last question. Yes. Okay, we successfully finished the discussion around 9:30. Okay, so any specific question? If you are okay, good already, and you can proceed to your rest or to try any other questions. If you have any other thing, you can stay and ask. And if you have any special question you want to ask, then you can ask also. And enjoy the study and hope you master differentiation. Okay, I'll wait here for 1 minute in case you have any of you have any question. Thanks for your love like. Yay. Yay, yay, yay. Yay! I'm happy. I worry it will go to 10 again. Any question? Any question? Teacher, you say paper, I forgot already. Have a lot, a lot. All application will appear. Got any more worksheet? But you can try pass here. Usually every paper, any variant, paper 1 or paper 2 will have a differentiation question. Just go ahead. Any other question? If don't have, then I can rest also. Give you last 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, anyway. Okay, bye-bye. See you in the next class and all the best for your study. If you face any problem, feel free to comment here. Okay, thank you. Yay, yay. I'll end the stream now, huh? Bye-bye.